What is going on, guys? Tuesday, March 14th, Comic News Weekly. We are in the middle of NFL free agency just started. We got the sweet March Madness. I was about to say Sweet 16, but we ain't quite there yet. Champions League soccer is upon us. But before we get to more of that, we have some great topics to discuss with tonight. Over the next hour, we're going to be talking about Reddit is having some issues, especially with some Marvel spoiler Reddit subreddits. We're seeing some subpoenas flying and some legal action taken by the big mighty giant that's owned by the House of Mouse. We also have some more MCU news. We're going to talk a little bit about that Blade movie that's supposed to be coming. I mean, holy cow, we've been in some delays with that. And then, of course, we're going to follow this up with some of ComicManAndy's greatness, goodness, most favoritist topic ever. We're going to recap some Last of Us action. And then we also have that surprise topic by Ryan Hayslip as my camera goes out of focus. But we normally introduce that Beyond Wednesdays guy, Mr. Bryan McClay. Unfortunately, he is not able to join us right now. And we will introduce Mr. Rhynoverse. You are here. That's the best surprise ever. And you made my camera come back in focus.
I'm good at that. Both of them.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Abracadabra and sprinkle some pot flour.
Goodies. Yeah.
Is that what your kids are calling it now? Pot flour?
Yes, sir. Flour. How you doing, bro?
So glad you're able to join us.
Amen.
You see, I'm already happier now. But how's it going?
Daylight savings time, bro. You know, you called it last week.
Yeah, we figured. And I was trying to do the math in my head, what the time was there. I was like, I can't math. I'm done.
Everybody in Arizona right now is confused and annoyed by the fact that the rest of the country still has daylight savings time. So,
yeah. What time is it?
Maybe
there
sometime
now?
soon. It is 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. So it is. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Samsonite, but. Yeah, but like I was also saying before I ruined the introduction on you, we do have Mr. Rhynoverse himself, Mr. Ryan Hayslip.
I was working on my long hair to look like Bryan. Like, oh, yeah, what's up, guys?
Like Goofy. What are those socks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be all
5 minutes in, we're off the rails.
I'm missing the facial hair though. What's up, guys? What's going on?
Yes.
We're with the bacon. Hey, don't be mad because we get some extra daylight saving time. McClay.
It's still 24 hours. I don't know, but either way,
I think we just get extra daylight time, right?
Yeah.
Like the sun doesn't go down as fast for us as it does for you. That's what it is.
Yes, it's science.
Science.
But, Mr. Button Pusher himself, the host of this channel, Mr. Alberto Jefe. We have ComicManAndy. What's going on, buddy?
What is up, everybody? It's Tuesday. I'm excited to be back, feeling like crap because Michigan is back in winter. And it's cold and it's rough again, and I can already feel the sinus pressure and the fever setting in for another head cold. McClay, welcome back, man. Hey, what do you call a dog with no legs, man?
Ooh.
Nothing. He ain't gonna come. It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, one of the most biggest announcements talking about all those sports things at the beginning. You know, opening day is just around the corner too. You getting excited about that, McClay?
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to all the young prospects coming up. Spring training has been crazy for that.
Yes. I saw the Giants named Logan Webb as their opening day pitcher.
McClay, you're more of a baseball than football, eh?
No, I'm more of a hockey than anything, but I follow the rest of this. I follow hockey big time. I follow baseball and football about the same behind hockey, and then I could care less about basketball.
Yeah.
Except for Michael Jordan cards.
But, yeah.
Old school.
That was surfing.
Anyways, speaking of, the first topic we want to get into tonight, A lot of people we've talked about Ant-Man and the Wasp on here, but Ant-Man and the Wasp is also being talked about a lot on Reddit, especially back in January, evidently, when supposedly the script got leaked, right? And then there's a Marvel spoilers subreddit, and there is now Marvel is taking legal action to try to shut those down. I know they've gotten some subpoenas out there. I saw another article where they were telling Reddit to provide the identity of one user, maybe multiple other users, and then there's that whole privacy issue, or depending on where you are in the world, it could be called privacy. But yeah, I mean, I know, Andy, you're really excited to talk about this, and it brings up great conversation. But what do you think about subreddit? What do you think about? Do you think there's cause for them to shut these things down? Do you think Reddit should provide the identity of these people? And what do you think it does to comic book movies with leaks getting shared and spoiled and these type leaks? Do you think it affects the box office numbers? I know there's probably data that says it does, but curious what you guys' thoughts are.
I'm really excited that this is kind of coming to the surface. It was talked about before, but now there's been actual legal action. And the subreddit itself, the Marvel Spoilers subreddit, was turned on silent mode or dark mode or something, to the point where you couldn't find it. The moderator's been removed. It's like cached somewhere where you can't find it. It's not deleted and gone completely, but like, I just don't know where you get into intellectual property versus speech. Like, it's Reddit, it's a website. Your freedom of speech isn't necessarily protected because Reddit is owned, but in the same fashion, like, how do you really kind of dig into this? Because whether or not this was leaked doesn't necessarily gauge the needle on this movie being good or not. Like, there's been plenty of leaks about plenty of other movies that have been true or not true, and there's been leaks for years, and movies have still been successful. So the fact that the script was possibly leaked or partially leaked or whoever did anything, I don't think that was that damaging to the movie, that the movie wasn't damaging to itself, if anything. Like, Ryan was right a couple weeks ago. It was a fun movie, but like, did it really draw the crowd to the theaters to see this, or are people burnt out on MCU? And I feel like people are burnt out on MCU, and now the MCU has this, oh, hey, these people are leaking it. Why are they doing this now after all these years of leaks? Because they have the ammunition to do it, or because they feel like this legitimately caused an issue? I want to know what people in the chat think, and I want to know what you guys think, because it's like, why now? Why now is this they're going to blow the money on the legal expenditures to press charges and push for Reddit to bring forth the people that shared this or leaked this information? Why is it now a big issue with this movie instead of other movies that made way more money?
Well, I mean, they've been all hush hush quiet for a long time on everything. They're always trying to, like, I mean, all the actors and everything, hey, they don't want anything leaked out or any kind of,
unless you're Tom Holland.
It's like almost like a game, like, because they're like, we don't want the actors to say anything. Yeah, and it's a game to try to get them to say something. It's almost kind of funny. So I don't think the spoilers have anything to do with the box office numbers. I personally hate the spoilers. I can't stand them because
there's a difference on where they come from too.
Huh?
There's a difference where they come from. If an actor, a main actor in a series or a movie, accidentally spoils something, well, then people really take that as truth. Some person behind a fake name on Reddit, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a spoiler because they say it's a spoiler. So 80% of the people just take a grain of salt with it and don't know any truth to it until they sit down and try to watch the movie or something.
Yeah, there's specific. Well, the deal is there's specific people. If you watch other YouTube content and whatnot, there is specific people, or I guess Reddit names or whatever, that people know that, oh, they usually get it right. If they're usually getting it right, then that means that they have some type of intel, either they work in and around something, or they got someone that's passing on information. And I think maybe what Marvel is trying to do is to try to find these big ones that are quote unquote right, or getting things more consistent. So they've done their due. I guess they don't want the information to get out. And like you said, most stuff on Reddit's kind of shooting the dark, but there are a few names that get it right on a consistent basis, and they're trying to find out who they are so they can stop that release of information.
Yeah, so I mean, they make the actors and stuff sign NDAs and stuff, right? But there's no there's no equal to this, especially out. How did the person get the script and everything like that? I agree with Daymares. I hope I said that correctly, but I don't think Reddit should give that name, that identity up, unless somehow it does come out in the subpoenas that they've been filed, but shouldn't. And it sounds like Reddit supports that. They said they take the privacy of their people, because, and the reason why I said, because a lot of times people say, well, why not? No, because it's not so much the action at the time, it's always what precedent that might be setting going forward. It just always scares me when you start messing with people's privacy. But
and that's kind of your world too.
if I was Marvel, I'd be like, man, someone must have leaked the shit out of that Eternal script. Look at our box office.
See, this is why I want to talk with you guys and ask why now? Why now? Because like, I don't know if there were pictures of a script or if there's pictures of something, but if I went on and said, hey, the new Blade movie come out, this scene is going to happen and this new character is going to happen, and I score a 1 in 20 million slam dunk and get it right, and they want to sue me because I guessed and got it, what proof did they have that I didn't guess versus actually leaked or spoiled something? How are they going to prove that?
Oh, it's different
You can
between
do it
that
consistently.
hyperbole, but if the actual script was leaked,
was the actual script leak on this? Like somebody saw pictures and photos of it? Like that's kind of one of the things I wish I would have dug more into today.
If you're consistently right.
We talked about, so here's the funny thing. This is crazy for me because on Saturday night, Richie, aka Dollar, said, hey, I got some stuff I want to talk about tonight. I said, yeah, great. And he brought up during the drama alert section, the subreddit, and literally pulled up that subreddit and went and explained to everybody, hey, here is what this is. And the reason he brought it up is because we were talking, I think, on the Hot 10 or some show about whether or not rumors were like where do you get your rumors from? Where do you get your speculation from? And I see a lot of people out there crying and bitching and saying that top 10 lists are pointless, or spoilers are who cares about, or spoilers are terrible, and this and that. Everything is nuanced. People don't realize that it's not black and white in this world. People that love top 10 lists that talk about books that are rising in value, hey, maybe they make a bucks to buy their grails by picking up a couple books a new comic books at the store and resell those based on what's on the top 10 list. Hey, maybe there's people that follow this Reddit spoiler group and specifically follow the pages that this Reddit spoiler group says, hey, these are A-list, these are top tier blog sites that you could take your information and they're correct, 70% of the time. And they follow and they utilize that subreddit to go, okay, I'm going to follow this so I know this. That way I can maybe pay for my X-Men 1 that I've been trying to get for 15 years. So I take it, you guys know I usually take it from a spec angle because that's what, what I do. But I'm so tired of people that think that everything in this world is black and white,
well, not only that, but people got into the Rice Bowl over the past 10 years.
Yes.
Because they're all about it when the MCU was new, and they were so excited about how the MCU was and all this great. And then they get pissed off that the MCU did what it was supposed to do and brought more people into comics. And
yeah.
Now the ocean got smaller.
Yeah, and it was
from the same stream.
It was so interesting to see, like, okay, and yeah, we've known about this subreddit. A lot of us have known about the Marvel spoiler subreddit for a while, but there's a lot of people that are new to collecting and new to speculating and new to doing what, a lot of us do to pay for our books or to make a couple bucks or to pay a bill every once in a while.
My parents wouldn't let me on Reddit, so I never got to use it.
And I agree that, the privacy of those people is important. So I'm glad that Reddit's doing that. But again, here's the other thing, again, nuance. Not everything's black and white. There are some sites or subreddits that are very toxic. So I understand when there's people that are like, oh, this is bad, this is bad. It's so nuanced that you have to take everything into account. There's certain subreddits out there that all they are just toxicity to just bash one, influencer or one style of content creator. There's you look at places like Kiwi Farms and these places where it's nothing but trolling, toxicity. Again, nuance. People just don't always think that everything is black and white. It's so ridiculous, man. It drives me absolutely crazy. But the funny thing is that after we talked about it on Saturday night, they shut that sucker down on Monday morning, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of nuances. The mindset I'm trying to come from here is like a broken clock is right twice a day. So does that mean Marvel's going to sue the broken clock because it reported the time because it was broken on the exact time? Like, seriously, there's McClay, you're right. Like you said, 70% of the time they get it accurate. Yeah, I get people are consistently right, but they're obviously not talking about the 30, 40, 50, 60 other times that they're wrong. Like,
well, here's something interesting. I want to hit two parts. One, what you just talked about and what Cosmic One is saying right there. Disney, if Disney is pissed about this, they shouldn't go after the people that are reporting on the spoilers. They need to find out who is their leak within their place because they have signed a contract to not do that.
It's the same people that leaked that Supreme Court shit, I'm telling you.
You got it. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then Cosmic One, where Cosmic One says everyone should cite their resources. Again, it's nuanced. The same way that I say that the people that on Disney should go after, if they want to go after somebody, go after the people that signed a contract saying they wouldn't leak something and they did. And then on the same end, everyone should cite their resources. Sometimes you can't cite your resources because you're going to be outing somebody, right? And it goes with that whole news thing. Like that's why people in news and in journalism have that. Isn't there a right, within the American law system that says, you don't have to give up your source is an identity.
Like journalism.
Yeah, even though journalism is basically dead, but that's the thing. Like you can't. Sometimes you can't cite your resources. Like why? And also, why would you? Why would you if you were one of those subreddit owners? So
I also want to add to this discussion that I have no legal training whatsoever, but I've been watching the new Night Court, so that makes me an expert.
I love John Larroquette.
Shield laws, quote unquote. I just quick Googled this. Shield laws are statutes that provide journalists either an absolute or qualified privilege to refuse to disclose sources used for information obtained in the course of news gathering. Now, granted, I don't know if that means you have to be a hired or licensed or accredited journalist or anything, but like that's essentially we could fall under the journalist thing unless I'm missing some nuances there too, based on what we do every week.
Like, yeah, I got Substack.
So, oh,
what's that? A person that plays with plants?
Yep. It's interesting. I look forward to hearing people watching the replay or commenting down below to kind of share their take on it, because this isn't the first time that subreddit's been talked about, but this is the first time that I've seen articles taking legal action. But not only that, the Reddit itself, the website, was down for multiple hours today, and there's no explanation why, but it was down from between lunch and dinner at some point. There's several news articles about it being completely offline. Yeah.
Well, you can prevent it all if you just post make a Facebook post that says,
I'll tell you.
I do not give Facebook the right to use my photos and blah, blah, blah. You only see that like
Yeah.
6 times a year. And it's like, bro, that means nothing. Once you agree to that user agreement.
Yeah,
TOS.
no joke. Disney goes after the little people with the Etsy shops. Like if you take, like, let's say Mandalorian, and you hand crochet and create your own pattern on how to create that via crochet or yarn or something like that, you've got the intellectual property of the amount of stitches and what's required to create that outline and stuff it. Disney will still sue people because of the likeness of Mandalorian or other characters like that. That's Grogu. When Grogu first hit the screen during season 1, that was a big thing on Etsy and other small places where individuals would create a pattern so you could crochet a big Grogu and stuff them full of foam or whatever. You'd have a little pet Grogu, but because it wasn't approved
Baby
by
Yoda then.
Well, yeah, but because it wasn't approved by Disney, even though the person stitching and utilizing that material, it was their intellectual property on what it takes to make that shape with the crocheting and with other fabrics. Even though that's their intellectual property, Disney was still suing them and shutting them down.
Yeah, they just banned that one person from Disney parks for making his own Mickey ears and selling them. But
Gone forever.
that was what the headline said. But then when you read the article, the dude he got banned for reselling like exclusive merchandise, and Disney's been cracking down on people that go to the Disney stores, buy up all their shit, and then resell it. But that's another topic for another day. Mahou shoes. Who's talking about that one?
Mahershala.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali.
Well, he's not too happy, you guys. He's definitely a little angry with the said script of Blade. Well, here we go. Insider Jeff Schneider, the same guy who was the reason we talked about the Marvel spoiler subreddit on Saturday night, reports that Mahershala Ali's request for Blade script is an appearance on the Hot Mic podcast. He talked about it on the Hot Mic podcast. He said that Ali is heavily involved with Blade's story process, so much so that he has demanded, quote, script changes all the time. In recent months, Ali, who propelled the project into development after the meeting at Marvel Studio in 2019, allegedly feels that Blade is his movie and has thus worked to infuse his vision into the story and direction. And we've heard about this before. We hear about this all the time, that people do this. And it works sometimes for the best. Sometimes it works doesn't work, period.
Yeah.
I feel like that movie where Jim Carrey goes, here we go.
But you know what it reminds me of the most? Another issue that has been happening recently, and that is our favorite Captain Marvel actress.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who is also very well known for crying about scripts and trying to get people to change actresses and actors and all this tough stuff. And just like with the Captain Marvel actress, what's her name?
Brie Larson?
Yep.
Brie Larson. Ali, his shtick is starting to wear thin on a ton of Marvel Studios, people who are overseeing the project. And they're tired of putting out fires for this movie for Ali. So, we could be seeing a bunch of setbacks on the Blade movie. And if he continues to piss people off, I don't see why Marvel can't do what DC has done multiple times in the past year, and that's shelve a movie that has basically been completed, even though this one hasn't completed yet. So you got to be careful with this, man. Not everybody is who they think they are. You don't hold the power that you think you do, and you got to get off your high horse sometimes. Like,
yeah, not unless when he signed on, it was like producer and all that crap.
Yeah. It's weird, dude. It's really weird. So we'll see what happens.
There's one tagline in here that I was interested to hear your guys' take on. It said, but this could also be for the best, as Ali is a proven creative genius. I don't know him well enough. I don't know if they're obviously reporting it, having won not one but 2 acting Academy Awards.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I mean, he was amazing
act.
Yeah. He was
Act
amazing
like
in
you're a team player.
what was that? Luke Cage. He was great in Luke Cage. He was awesome.
And House of Cards.
Yeah. So,
I'm starting to fall in line with Cosmic One here. It'll be a miracle if it gets done because this was announced 2019.
Yeah, I think it'll get done, but I just hope it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like New Mutants.
They get done, but it'll probably be all discombobulated compared to everything else. I think it'll feel like that the first Hulk did.
Ooh,
Was it the Bonham one? Bonham was the first one, or the Norton one? I forget.
Norton.
I liked the first Norton one, but I wasn't.
I
I
do
don't have a
too.
lot of history with Hulk.
But it felt discombobulated.
no, it was Bana. Bana was the first one. Jason
Was
Bana
it?
was the first one. Yeah. And then it went to Norton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like Jason Bana. I thought that was a good one. Those big Hulk dogs.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see this Blade movie come to fruition. And like I know there's a lot of script changes and there's a lot of talk back and forth about will it make it and Kevin Feige being worn thin. Because I'll be honest with you guys, like one of the first two movies as a kid growing up when I had a computer, like I bought a computer and you could watch movies on with a DVD player was a really big deal because our family couldn't afford a DVD player at the time, but we could get a computer for school. First two movies I purchased were The Matrix and Blade. And Blade being the first real superhero movie.
Blade launched the MCU. I don't
yes,
care what
that's
says.
where I was leading, but that movie is special to me. Now to have Marha, I thought I had it.
Mahershala.
Mahershala, I thought I had it right on the tip of my tongue. Having him reprise this role and kind of make it his own and revitalizing that Blade franchise and potentially going another 2 or 3 movies, I'm really excited for, to be honest with you. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm kind of getting a little worn thin that it keeps dragging on. And I really want to sit there with a bucket of popcorn and see this on the big screen.
I'm excited too, because I mean, there's not too many Marvel movies or TV shows out there right now, so we really need to keep whatever we can get.
Yeah. I guess. There's not very many good ones, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think we've just, I mean, kind of beating the dead horse on that, but I think we've been numbed, and not the good Pink Floyd style.
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens when Loki comes out, right? Loki's the next one that we're waiting for.
Yeah, that, and I'm excited for Guardians, of course, in the theater.
Yes.
Guardians should be legit.
When's that going to be again?
May?
Ooh.
I think it's May.
This is going to be a good spring.
Yep. I'm excited for Shazam.
There's controversy around that as well.
Yeah. And John Wick.
You know where there isn't controversy, though?
Right here with us. We're best
buddies. I'm trying to get as good as you at Sagu and over on to the next topic, and I'm just having fun with it. But we've talked about how this show, what we like to do is pose a thought for a topic that isn't really news-based or article-based, yet has bits and pieces that we can draw from articles, like some facts and stuff like that. So I thought of a question, and I kind of already know what the answer is, but I want to hear from the viewers here on the live on the show and on the replay from everybody else watching. Leave comments down below, please. And I want to talk to you guys. That question is the video game adaptation curse broken? And I've had some good comments from Instagram on some posts, and I've had some good comments from other friends that are kind of in the know on this and kind of paying attention to this. Because The Last of Us didn't come out of nowhere for some of us that have been playing the game and really paying attention to it. But The Last of Us now, full series, went 30.4 million full series viewers, more than House of Dragon. Bryan, you mentioned it was almost 70 million viewers.
Yeah, total. It was total 67.7 million viewers. But the number that you were talking about is watched start to finish, right?
Yep, watch start to finish for the season was 30.4, so that's a little bit more than House of Dragon. But it brings up that question of is the video game adaptation curse broken? Because it doesn't take just one to do it. But if we look back, based on the comments from some other people, like Castlevania in 2017 being an like an anime kind of style version, but they're getting a little bit better. Uncharted was okay for an action flick, but like, is this the final nail in the coffin of that curse where we can break through and we're going to get the phenomenal video game stories that we're playing and seeing on the screen and developing that franchise or that universe more so?
Patrick's comment. Sorry. I think a good story makes good content, and Last of Us had a great story. Naughty Dog games have great stories. So I think, like you mentioned, the curse has kind of maybe been broken with great stories from Castlevania. I think was one of the good ones you brought up. The Witcher, of course, always comes to people's minds.
Tomb
so
Raider was not great.
But I think because of this, because of how we saw the MCU, because of, it's like a virus, man. They just pick onto trends and then everyone just leeches onto it. So now you're going to have I think a surplus of video games. I'm still looking forward to God of War on Amazon, of course, but we know a bunch of others are coming too, right? Like, was it Heavy Metal, right? Isn't Anthony Mackie or someone tied to the Sony video game Heavy Metal? I think there's a whole bunch of other stuff in the works right now, but outside of Sonic and Mario, which they always bring in great numbers from media. It's great to see some of these. I don't want to say independent games, but we don't think of those big franchise carry the platform or platformers. These stories do well in that different version of media. I think it's also proven that the video games seem to do better as series or streamers versus a movie. But this is my thoughts.
Yeah.
But you with Last of Us, that's how I am for God of War, and I can't wait for it to come out.
I'm looking forward to that as well. It's just kind of seems like what used to be there as a curse that was getting chiseled away at kind of finally seems to really be breaking through. What were those numbers again on Watcher that you shocked me with earlier?
So Witcher season 1 had 76 million views, and then season 2 within like the first week had not views but 142.4 million hours watched. And I don't know how they get some of those numbers because they always hear like, oh, streamers, they don't share their numbers. But that was from a Variety article or The Verge.
That seems like The Witcher being the game that it is, a solid game. It's surprising that those numbers are that high for The Witcher. And where's The Witcher on the best-selling PlayStation titles list? I mean,
I enjoyed The Witcher because I hadn't played the game. Like Last of Us, I had played the game. The Witcher, to me, it was like fresh content. So I didn't really know what I was getting into. Except for I played like 20 minutes of Witcher 3, The Last Hunt, and was like, I don't got time for this right now.
I do want to say I haven't even started the Last of Us show because I wanted to play some of the game. And so I've been playing this game, which has been freaking me out at night when I play it.
You paranoid.
It's so good. It's just wild because I'm like at night with all the lights and everyone's asleep and there's like things moving coming out from over here and eating my neck and whatnot. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I want to see how they.
Resident Evil is another one that, I mean, good, bad. What they made like 15 Resident Evil movies.
I want to see how they did. I want to see how they made those characters that are the clickers or whatever they are.
Oh, dude, just wait till you see some behind the scenes stuff when you watch the show. It's pretty good. But like, yeah, Resident Evil is one of the games I grew up with as a kid that when they started talking about movies and everything else, like your heart skips a beat and you're like, oh, right. And then you're just phenomenally let down. Daymare's mentioned Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider did well. It wasn't great. Like I kind of see what he's getting at there, but it was Angelina Jolie sold that movie. You put a really cool independent female that nobody knows about in that role that would do a really good job acting, it probably wouldn't have done anywhere near as well. It was Angelina Jolie sold that.
What about in reverse? Are there movies that have game adaptations that are really badass and the ones that really failed? Like I always think like Star Wars.
Most of them always suck because they get short time frames to develop them.
Yeah.
E.T.
That's the classic.
Yeah. They've got a whole landfill full of ET
Yeah,
cartridges.
like the new ones, because they don't have as much time to develop the game, so they usually like it's just a money grab.
Right. But like, where's Silent Hill? Silent Hill would be a phenomenally good show if done right.
I wonder if they did like a what do they call it? A COD story, or like a, how would they do that?
Call of Duty. I mean, literally, don't they have like a Navy SEALs network television show or something like that? I mean, pull that show and pull that idea off of network television with the bad acting and with the bad writing, and put it in the hands of somebody with some money and some cojones. It would probably come off really good.
You can see The Rock playing in that show, that movie.
And it just turns into a cheesy action flick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought there was gonna be a lot more meat and potatoes here to really dig into, because there is a bit of history of not great stuff, but then there's also stuff that has been phenomenal that we could look forward to seeing. You mentioned God of War. Silent Hill comes to mind for me. God of War is gonna be on Amazon, right?
Yes.
Well, it would be cool if they made like games that were like, so they made a movie and then it has a game to follow that would continue on a story that doesn't go into the movie. So you had to play the game to get the next kind of part of the movie or television show.
Sounds like Sega CD stuff.
That would be cool, like you'd have to watch the show and then play the game in order to get, and they could just do like DLC downloadable content, DLCs for after the show released, and you could play the DLC for the next part of the series, and then after you play that, then you could watch the show. It kind of go back and forth. That would be kind of cool to do.
Yeah, they should make a Madden TV show or a FIFA.
Yeah, it's called football.
Well, I mean, that kind of sparks an interesting thought process. I mean, how many decades are we away from sitting in a movie theater and actually controlling the decision making and wearing individual VR goggles and actually playing a game at a movie theater for $100, where it's an hour, 2 hour long experience, and it's different depending on your choices. Like the choose your own book. How far are we?
Why would I go to a theater though when I could sit at home with VR?
Yeah, but it's like it's the same argument as sitting at home and watching a movie in your own movie theater. And if you've got $30,000 to spend in your own home movie theater setup and make it look that good, sure. Where the average Joe Schmo citizen, we're not going to spend 20 or 30 grand to do that in our basements or in our houses and take over that chunk of our houses. We're going to go spend that couple $100 a year to do it once or twice at a movie theater or several times at a movie theater.
Not if you join AMC's A-list.
That's some Pornhub VR.
I still don't like VR. I just think it's got a long ways to go yet. I watch VR clips. I watch VR clips on social media all the time, and it looks like ass. It looks like straight shit and ass based on the way the controls work and the graphics on there. It's terrible.
I watched the guy clip. He said it was a vast improvement, so a huge improvement from the last one. That it was actually written. And so he saw it so much that I'm like, I might try to go and pick this up.
Well, I mean, if I go to a 1-star rated restaurant and then the next week I go to a 3-star rated restaurant, it's still a massive improvement, but it's still dog shit, in my opinion. Like VR's got such a long way to come. I remember being a kid in the 90s, and that was the big thing. You walked in the movie theater, the first thing you saw was the big floating floor like VR experience to pay $10 for 10 minutes or something like that before you went to the movie theater. And that was a lot of fun as a kid. And there is a big improvement from there to where we are now. But like looking at where it's at, it still looks like dog shit.
Well, what are you expecting? I mean, like, what are your expectations? I
want reality. Virtual reality.
Are your expectations too high, or?
No, I mean, it's just
a girl come and grab you and start going to town on you.
It's just another avenue for them to get money from you. They create another iteration. Here's new technology. Here's the new latest greatest
it's
VR.
Like Connect for your face.
Buy all this stuff. Buy all like the mobile VR phone stuff, the PlayStation VR stuff, the computer VR stuff. It's just more. They're just adding more stuff for you to spend money on instead of developing the technology further. They're just getting you to spend.
Is that what you've heard from people? They haven't liked it.
I don't know. I'm just a curmudgeon on it, really.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people that love it.
Off my lawn guy.
Yeah, there's like Daymares, his son plays VR several hours a week. There's a lot of talk about kids practicing sports in virtual reality, like VR batting practice.
Yeah.
That's helping out kids a lot that don't have access to other areas, so that's a big deal.
I heard that whenever you get into this VR stuff, that it's so crazy that you have to like wean yourself into it, because this one dude said he started playing it after like 10 or 15 minutes he threw up because it was just too crazy for looking for him.
I love the videos of people freaking out and running face first into the freaking wall.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I would definitely. I mean, I really, really want to try it out. So I gotta either try to find a buddy that has it or go to a store that has it to try. I've never tried out any of the VR stuff. Never ever once. So
I don't think I can because I have an astigmatism.
Maybe that's why I look like
my kids. My kids had the first PlayStation VR, and they loved it. But then they're just knocking shit over all the time. So
I remember when Nintendo put out something like that. It was like red, and you could you put your face up to it, and
yeah, it was called a ViewMaster. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You clicked it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think video game adaptations are the next. A lot more people are going to start doing them.
Well, there was a comment earlier from, I think it was Cosmic One, said, no, Three Rivers, I think it was, said, well, it's time to start paying closer attention to those number one issues from video games. And I remember you specifically saying that 3 years ago on a Hot Cold show or something like that. Like, hey, why aren't we paying attention to these things? Because they're just going to get better. And here we are actually seeing this happening and come into fruition.
Yep. Ryan, what do you have for us tonight?
All right.
What's the surprise topic?
Surprise topic. Let me think. Here's something I was wondering. Typically around this time of year, it seems like everyone's getting all jazzed up and geared up and picking out where they're going to be going all across the map for Comic Cons. Where has that talk been? I haven't heard as much.
WonderCon's coming up.
I haven't heard much jazzercise and people being so excited. Did it die because after the pandemic you got a couple of tastes and then it was like, all right? Because it just hasn't. I haven't felt the excitement coming from the community as much as I did a year or so ago. And if so, maybe it's just me. I haven't heard anything. Are y'all excited about any cons coming up?
Or yeah, there's a ton of them. WonderCon,
Heroes Con.
Yeah,
but I haven't heard like any excitement. Like, oh, I'm going to this one, or I plan to go to that one, or is there anything that y'all are juiced up about?
Well, tax return checks haven't come in yet.
I just didn't know.
I haven't heard, but to be honest, I don't keep my ear to the ground like I used to. Also, I'm not as active in the community as I was. So, but
we're getting old, what you're saying.
Yeah. Damn, this thing called work keeps getting in the way. But
yeah, I get these.
But yeah, I mean, we're still within our own little community. I know people are looking forward to Heroes Con. I know a bunch of people on the West Coast are looking forward to WonderCon. We just had Emerald City just happened, right?
Yeah, I didn't hear much about that. Like, was it a cool thing or did
Ryan's right. I didn't see many posts on IG or a Pip or a Squeak or much of anything from Emerald City.
Yeah. That's a fairly massive one. I know that the one I went to in Dallas is getting ready to come up.
Fan Expo?
Yes.
C2E2 is just around the corner. I'm usually really fired up about that, but like taking a look at the receipts from the last 4 or 5 years of going to C2E2 and I'm adding those things up, C2E2 has become so increasingly expensive that it's become a hindrance to my personal life. Like I've got stuff that I need to get done for my family and my household that I can't spend that $2,000 on C2E2. And people are like, well, you don't have to. And I'm like, have you tried getting a hotel for 3 or 4 nights in downtown Chicago?
I mean, McClay, you went to a few cons I know in the past year or so, and it seemed like you enjoyed them, but maybe was it not as cool as it was the previous years? And being
expensive. It just gets expensive, man. It's a lot of money to go to cons, and like Andy was saying, it's flying flying kind of sucks right now. I think people, I'll be honest, man, I think the last couple of years have really just chopped us down a bit. Like we're kind of we need some time to
Breathe.
recover or something. Too many people are just like there's this I feel like there's this collective unconscious for humans, right? And the whole world got chopped down, right? I mean, the whole world got just put in a shitty situation, and I think that it's affecting everybody, this collective unconscious of like, we need a little bit of time for things to kind of get back to normal, and that includes travel and vacations and going to conventions and spending money, right? That's the other
The
thing.
economy
So,
has a big,
especially when banks in California are
yeah, exactly, same thing.
but
don't talk to me about that. All the phone calls I've been answering the past 2 days.
yeah, I mean, I think people are much more selective on what they spend their money on at the moment.
I did see McFarlane was somewhere recently and I saw a lot of people posting about that, which was cool. He was at a comic shop or something along the line.
He's
signing random books, right? Giving away random signed books or something like that.
Yeah.
I did pre-order my Ted Lasso McFarlane figure from Target.
When is he going to do something cool? I want a cool Spawn from him movie.
That's I think frequency is an issue with conventions as well. I know Motor City Comic Con, which is one of the biggest conventions in Michigan every year, they went down to one convention a year, minus the break for that year of COVID, because of attendance and because of other things, and because after COVID things were so big, they went back to twice a year, and they've been doing twice a year for a while. But it's like, I don't want to go to 2 Motor City Comic Cons a year. Now they're trying to break it up and make their spring fling more of just a comic book dig for all, like short boxes and just comic book retailers. But the frequency, there are too many conventions competing. I'll be honest. I think that's part of it too, that not a lot of the community's talking about, is there's just too many. The smaller regional ones, I'm with Three Rivers, are great. I went to Northwest Indiana Comic Con a couple of weeks ago and paid like $8 or $10 to get in, spent maybe $100 and had one of the best con days in a long, long time, meeting with friends and hanging out and talking and digging, and had very little expense on my pocket to do that. Heroes Con coming up in North Carolina. I'm flying down there and staying for 3 days and spending less than $800 to do a 3-day vacation for Heroes Con. That is cheap to go to a convention and fly. That is really cheap. That's like, I could go to C2E2 almost twice or almost 3 times for that. Or I could go to Heroes Con 3 times for what it costs to go to C2E2 is what I mean to say.
When does the quote unquote season begin?
Well, now there really isn't a season. I mean, they always, like, holidays to like spring was kind of like a dead zone, but there's smaller regional cons that are fitting in there that are putting stuff on to draw people that don't have anything to go to.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like right about now, usually everyone's kind of gearing up, looking at the calendar, picking at the ones that they're going to. I just haven't heard much of anything going on as far as that. But again, maybe it's just like we're old and we don't hear. We're not.
Maybe a lot of it that is burnout on the MCU, because a lot of the big convention draws are usually the actors and the characters and stuff like that. That pop culture aspect. If people really truly are getting burnout on the MCU and DCU or whatever else, then what's there to talk about at a con except for comic books? Maybe we're getting back to where it should be a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if it's East Coast, the 2 cons I'd be looking forward to is like Heroes Con in Baltimore.
Yep.
The pop culture cycle might be moving, and the comic stuff is moving out of the pop culture scene. It's something else got to take its place soon.
Yeah, there's a lot of derivatives, or there's a lot of offshoot conventions now that used to be parts of comic book conventions that, because they've gotten so big, the tattoo conventions, this convention, that convention used to be pop culture. Where now
convention. It's about conventions.
Well, you know what I mean. They're not just going to pop culture conventions anymore. They're breaking away and starting their own followings and their own conventions because they're getting too big.
Yeah. I mean, it was like E3 video games, and then
like even those are like slimming down to, or there's they're having their own for just the company.
Speaking of which, of conventions or whatever, I can't remember if it's today or tomorrow, but the D23 Expo tickets go either went on sale today or they go on sale tomorrow. But
let's do it.
You know what else goes on sale tomorrow?
New Comic Book Day.
That was a good Sagoo.
I give that a 7.5.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff this week, man. Too many.
I'm gonna let Bryan take it because I was like, yeah.
I'm a little scared. I'm gonna say I should rephrase this. My wallet is a little scared right now, McClay.
Well, let me show you guys some things that are interesting from my point of view. I really like this gun slinger cover. I like this artist, man. This Mark Spears. I really like his art. I think that's just a beautiful cover right there.
That's
you guys.
That's an Insane Clown Posse homage.
I'm getting to the point. I've been a cover buyer, guy for a while now because comic stories just haven't been that good. So I'll continue to buy things for cover, but this is right here is a book that a lot of people are talking about the cover being great, and I think it's absolutely horrible.
I like that one too, the Bachalo.
I think this is, I don't know.
It's kind of ugly, but it's like a baby.
They're spaced weird.
It's just not good.
Looks like a kid drew that.
Yeah. But, art is subjective. Bryan likes it. I hate it.
I know. And I can't tell you why I like it, though, because I'm like the same way.
Is that Peach?
I'm gonna show you guys if you're able to put money behind one book this week. If you're able to drop a little cheese on a book this week, I'm going to show you the book that everybody's going to be talking about next week. Superman the Lost, #1, the 1 in 50 foil.
Ooh,
this cover is so gorgeous in foil. And at the same time of talking about how beautiful this cover is, there is a regular, this is the A cover, but there is the 1 in 50 foil of this. It's so gorgeous. And it's just beautiful. I'm also going to tell you guys one of the worst ideas in a long time. Big Time Collectibles has been putting out these different color variants of the Superman Lost #1. Right? Well, one of the things that they did is they decided to put the cover that I just showed you, to put the cover I just showed you on the back of this.
Really?
Okay. And this is probably the dumbest decision that you guys are going to see in a long time. And let me show you why. So I told you guys that how beautiful that foil cover is. Well, let me show you what it would look like as a gold foil cover. Look at that. And Big Time Collectibles put that on the back and put their big, huge logo on it.
Why?
That is probably the dumbest thing I have ever seen in comic book collecting in a long time. Not only are you watering down the market with these stupid colored changes things and taking a bunch of people's money, but you have the biggest mistake in a long time and don't do this as its own front cover. Like, that is so gorgeous. That's a home run. So anyways, you guys, if you're going to buy one book this week, if you're able to put some money behind a book, get the incentive 1 in 50 foil for Superman Lost.
Do we have any idea what that's currently like? What can people predict when they go into the LCS tomorrow? Are they going to see 49.99 ratio price? Yeah. You think it's going to be 100?
Well, it'll be 100 within a couple weeks. I can tell you that right now, for sure. Another book that I like is I like these.
Sorry.
What?
I just saw the comment.
Oh,
go back to the
shower.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. Another one that I love these Avengers wraparound Hainsworth covers for some reason. They have the little 8-bit characters on them.
Oh, it reminds me of like Minecraft, the blockiness.
Yeah. So those are kind of cool. I like that. Batgirls has another a cover that a lot of people are going after, the David Marquez cardstock variant that a lot of people like, and there's something about it I don't
like
know.
the pink. Pink
Yeah.
pops it.
Yeah.
Pop that pink.
I like the pink. I think the face is too round though.
The Batman Adventures continue season 3 has a 1 in 25 Hayden Sherman variant. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I give her shit constantly because her art is very lacking lately, but Peach Momoko has actually put out a decent cover.
I was going to say
decent cover? Oh, a decent cover. Really?
So you don't think that's decent?
I mean, it's
for her.
It's for her, it is really good.
Yeah.
But everything else she does is garbage. So that being said, those are my books.
Credit.
Well, just wait until you see the black, red, and blood, or whatever the Vader stuff. The black, red, and white. I think that's coming out in a week or two, and that's yeah, you'll see it.
I had no real picks. I do like the Middleton Poison Ivy cover though.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Let me bring that up. I'll show you the best cover of that Poison Ivy ones though. Where is it? Where is it?
Heath Damer is talking. I still like AWA Upshots imprints.
Yep,
I can't find. Is that Poison Ivy cover come out this week?
Teams.
I don't know.
I don't think it comes out this week.
I'm a huge Master of the Universe fan, and I haven't been picking up the new Dark Horse stuff.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's just a multiverse, like an Elseworlds thing. Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of liking like the black and white or the gray or pencils variant, but
all right, McClay, I got one for you, and I know Berserker has gotten a lot of hate and a lot of heat over the last 2 years. It's taken them to do 12 issues, for the love of God. But if you click on Berserker, Wood and I were talking about a cover, and right there, the red one in the middle, but the black and white version of it down and left. Right there. The unlockable Apina.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that quite a bit. Now, like, I'm just glad, like, Cosmic One or somebody in the chat earlier was saying, Ryan Adams is saying Andy's just going to be happy that Berserker's done. I am phenomenally elated, over the moon, that I can finally pick up these issues tomorrow and say I am done buying Berserker books. The next Berserker book I'm going to be is going to be a trade paperback $9.99 or $12.99 copy of the next series they do. I'm not doing any more Boom Studios releases. Something is Killing the Children cover A, sure. House of Slaughter cover A, sure. Maybe some new stuff they coming up. I'm never going to do a variant run of books from Boom ever again. This is it.
Are you going to sell all your Berserker stuff?
I'm going to take the 1 in 1,000, the 1 in 100s, the 1 in 250s, like the super high ratio stuff. And I am going to, over time, pick out the covers that I really, really like and get those graded. But I'm going to pull all the cover A's and set all the cover A's aside for every issue. I've got 3 short boxes of Berserker books, essentially, because of all the variants. Like two.
If you don't mind me asking, how much does it cost you to pick up all the variants?
Tomorrow is going to, I don't mind saying it because it's going to be the similar situation for other people. Berserker 12 is now $6.99 cover price. They keep bumping it up. That's a shame. I do get 20% off, but that's still. So there's 1, 2. Actually, let's get the calculator out and let's travel down this little rabbit hole for a second because I don't mind. Call it 7 plus 7 plus 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 30 plus 70 plus 50 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. So it's $210 for all the store variants tomorrow from Boom Studios. That does not include this incentives, like the you know, not the ratios. This includes incentives and ratios from Boom, but not the store exclusives.
Retailer exclusives.
The retailer exclusives. That's it. Yeah. And that's actually cheap. The first 2, 3, 4 issues that came out, those 1 in 100s and 1 in 500s were going for way more on the secondary market, which is bumping up the new Wednesday prices. So if you wanted them on Wednesday, you were paying a premium, and they were dropping 30 to 60% within the first month. Now, that being said, if you were patient and you waited a little bit, you can score some really good deals. But I absolutely love this cover. This black and white's an unlockable Opina. So it's not going to be super scarce. It's not going to be super limited. So it should be affordable. In fact, the unlockable Opina, this is $6.99. This is an extremely well done cover, in my opinion, coming from the Berserker line for $7. Super affordable considering what they've been charging. The 1 in 100 Boss Logic, I'm being charged $70 for tomorrow. I mean, these are before discounts and stuff like that. The Boss Logic isn't bad. There's the 1 in 50 Boss Logic, and then there's the 1 in 100 Boss Logic. I like Boss Logic's work. It's not a bad cover. So the reason why I stuck with it is because I made a commitment to myself that I was going to go all covers, all variants, and I didn't realize that they were going to go this crazy with it.
Oh, man. Welcome to my world.
Yeah. The Kint cover. I'm sorry, McClay, but the Kint cover, pull that up. This is terrible.
Oh, yeah. That's garbage. But Matt Kint's a writer, right? So he's not an artist.
Yeah. This is the cover A, and then they're going to do a foil version of the cover A.
No, here's the cover A, isn't it? Isn't this the cover A? No?
So Ryan brings us up at the time the option news comes out. Well, I've already saw a news article not just too long ago that it was something about John Wick 4 and the ending of the John Wick series and what Keanu Reeves is going to be doing after. And they talked about an animation version of Berserker for Amazon, but also live action. They didn't say movie or show, but there's going to be a live action property, is my understanding, and an animated property for Berserker.
Yeah. Wow.
And then again, that's my big pick of the week. There's only one Star Wars title.
There's two, isn't there?
High Republic and Yoda. Yep.
Yeah. Here's High Republic. I like High Republic Adventures.
That's been good.
And then Yoda. This is supposed to be a decent issue for Yoda. Look at how bad this is. Oh. Ugh. Yeah.
Looks like I'm only getting the cover. I got the cover of Yoda coming tomorrow. That's it.
The Lopez. What is going on, man? Anyways. Yeah. So
Hulk comes out tomorrow.
What does?
Hulk, and I'm wondering if that's if it's not Kate's anymore writing it's
the final issue, and Kate's fell off because the artist took over the writing duty.
Yeah, so I don't know when he took over.
About a couple issues ago, right? Ryan writer, penciler, and cover artist Ryan Otley.
It's the final issue, you said?
Yeah, I believe so. Isn't it the final? Maybe not. Maybe not. The new Hulk stuff looks interesting. Look how bad this Momoko is. This is the 1 in 25 for Hulk.
Ooh.
Why, man?
I like so the background.
Find her lane, man.
The space background looks good. Reminds me of a couple other artists, but
but it's just a different style. It's like a child style.
Yeah.
Looks like the Dozers from Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that on like a YouTube channel for trying to be aspired for a kids show.
Oh, man. This guy says, apparently both Cates and Otley abruptly left the book. The series is in total disarray. After one of the most wildly inventive storylines, something tells me we're going to be left hanging. I hate people that are just morons. I'm so salty lately. I don't know what it is, but Anyways.
Yeah, there's new comic book day.
Ta-da!
Yeah. Just saltiness. So,
Would you
lots
pick?
of
You
lots
pick
of
any?
stuff.
Oh, somebody mentioned the Star Wars Insider has a cool foil to it. I might look for that if. Dang! I don't have it posted. That's the only thing about League of Comic Geeks occasionally doesn't post all of the covers, which is kind of sad. Walking Dead is coming out, the deluxe. I'm still loving that week to week or every other week.
They probably didn't post all the covers because maybe they'll get subpoenaed by Marvel for disclosing them.
Right?
Is that
Oh, boy.
Eastman?
Yeah, it's Eastman. Here's the 1 in 10.
How many people are buying that? That looks pretty good.
And then here's the cover B. Yeah, interesting. Isn't the Last Ronin? Yeah, here's the Last Ronin. This is the New Turtles, right here.
Yeah.
Goblin comes out tomorrow too, number 2.
That's gotta be an exclusive.
Oh, shout out to Eric Hurd. That's his variant right there. So pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That one's not bad. The Inhook Lee.
Yeah, but that looks like a bite off the
Bartling.
Yeah.
Yeah. They bite that all the time. Here's another bite off of it. I mean, there must be 3 or 4 of them. Here's Tyler Kirkham's. That's kind of cool.
Ooh, I do like that.
Yeah. But this is the A. Where's the A cover? That is the A cover. There you go. So.
Yeah, I'm for sure gonna look for that Superman Lost, the cover A foil that you're talking about, McClay. I'm gonna see what they're gonna charge for it. See, I don't know. Knowing my area and my LCS, it's probably gonna sold out, but by the time I can get there.
I love hearing people talking about DC books.
About how bad they are?
No, just that pendulum shift. I'm telling you, like,
you mess with me so much. I thought you were messing with me again.
No, I kept saying it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still some stories I like to read, but I don't like all the Batman covers and stuff. But everyone. That pendulum just shifts back and forth each time. So
yeah.
When everyone's dogging shit, I always like go pick some things up. But
I gotta stop taking you serious, man.
No one ever takes me serious.
House of Slaughter. Doesn't this cover look like his hand? He's got that thing stuck in his he doesn't have a hand, and that's just stuck in his hand.
It did from a distance for sure.
Yeah, he's got like a stump, and he just stuck that harpoon thing in it. This is kind of cool. Look at the 1 in 50.
Ooh! Oh, don't tell me that's die cut. I'm not gonna get sucked back in there. It's probably die cut, but I do kind of like that too.
Yeah.
A
lot of books this week.
I will say I'm doing really good with not doing cover buys. Like I promised myself to cut back on cover buys, and I'm doing really well in that avenue.
That's pretty good. The Chirini. This is cool.
Oh, Little Monsters is out tomorrow too.
Yeah, that's getting close to being done too, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good series. It's one of the few.
Hard to beat that creative team, to be honest with you. Lemire, Sorrento.
And,
or Dustin Nguyen, sorry.
Yeah.
Lemire and Nguyen.
Oh, there we go. That's new comic book day.
Ta-da.
That's just gonna leave us with
Uno Masterano.
one more thing. What do you got, El Beardo?
I got the stuffiness starting, and I'm debating about taking tomorrow night off, but I'm extremely excited to be done with Berserker. So I'm gonna schedule. I'm working on the thumbnail now. I'm gonna schedule a new comic book day tomorrow. I'll probably make it a quick short one and get some decent rest tonight and tomorrow. Taking the rest of the week off after that. There won't be another CGC unboxing for actually it'll be a week from this Friday. We got the new box that came in with the Ultimate Fallout 4 CGC books that we had purchased already graded that we had Red Hood crack and press and clean and resubmit. So I'm excited to see what grades those copies got coming back. And did that pan out? Did we give Red Hood some decent books? We'll see. That'll be in about a week and a half. And more importantly, just keep spreading the good vibes and the good energy. There's been a lot more positivity in the community lately than I've seen a lot more positivity in the community in the last several months. And it's very, very needed. It's very heartwarming because I thrive off of positive energy. And when the community is really down and really kind of beating each other up and not doing so well, it's pretty hard to be excited about comic books because I count on this community to be my resource to talk comic books and be here on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And it's been very positive and very, very upbeat out in the community. I'm very appreciative of that and appreciative of everybody out there that's trying to help grow each other's channels and grow each other's businesses and keep at it, keep on keeping on. Life's a garden. Can you dig it?
Yeah. No fate but what we make.
Yep.
What's going on before Wednesdays?
What do we got coming up? Tomorrow night, we've got a show live, our Wednesday night show that I still haven't figured out a new name for. So I got to figure out a new name for that. But so that will be live tomorrow. And then, oh, nice, Three Rivers. Congrats. Also, Saturday night, we do Modern Comic Mayhem. Friday night, we do the Hot 10 over at House of Stein. And then Bogcast comes back this week on YouTube Thursday night. So make sure you guys come check that out at youtube.com/thebogcast.
Yes. And make sure you're subscribed to Beyond Wednesdays.
Yes.
What about you, Bryan?
I don't know how many folks are into like weird stories. I know McClay's into weird stories. Have you ever heard of Mr. Ballin? He's a guy on YouTube, and he was I think from the Marines or Navy SEAL or something like that. And
they mix them up a lot.
Huh?
They do mix them up a lot because pretty much
every
Marine's like a Navy SEAL.
Oh,
what's the show? Is this Sean?
It's called Mr. Ballin. Ballen. And what he does is he finds weird show. It's not someone I know or it's in the community, but it's just a cool a channel to check out. Finds real weird things that have happened. Like if it might be someone that dies or someone like a cold case or something like that. And he just tells kind of what happened in that particular case. So he comes up with all these. I mean, I haven't found the end of it yet. It's just a number of different cases that have just weird things have happened. And or people like that just had weird shit happen to them, and so he just talks about it. They're real cases, they're real things, and I can't get enough of me. I've been listening every day, like all the time when I'm not on one of these guys' channels or doing my own thing or just at work. I'll have it playing in the background. But check it out, Mr. Ballin. It's a really cool show. Like I said, he's military of some sort, and it's just a very cool like a thing to check out, listen to if you like real weird stories, everything from zombies to zombieistic type people that maybe have some weird story behind it, or aliens, or I don't know, just weird stuff. Check it out.
Yeah, Sean McCurdy's in the chat, says he recommends it as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's a really good. It's a good watch or listen.
Yeah. I don't have much to pass. I just want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Erling Haaland. Holy cow. I don't know if you guys watch soccer. I've talked about Champions League, but Manchester City played Leipzig today, and Erling Haaland scored 5 goals. Probably could have scored 6, but was subbed out. It was freaking nuts. So, I mean, yeah, only 2 other players have scored 5 goals in a game in the Champions League. One of them's Lionel Messi. So, But yeah, it's a great game tomorrow. If you're going to watch some Champions League soccer, you got Real Madrid against Liverpool. I hope they knock Liverpool out. And then Ted Lasso starts up again this weekend. So excited to start watching that. Other than that, I second everything everyone else said. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate everyone that's in here week in, week out. Good vibes. Make sure you subscribe to ComicManAndy if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to be on Wednesdays. But with that, we will see you guys next week.
You can subscribe to me too if you want.
Sorry.
Wait, how's this work again?
Take us out.
Take it out. It's time to leave. Let's cut it.
Excuse me while I change. The roller buggy has made me sweaty.